Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of iChongqing's channel. This is iChongqing. Today's live stream is about food and culture. It's been a long time for iChongqing to produce food content since the COVID. After the city reopened, a lot of our followers on Twitter keep asking about the tourism information of Chongqing. I'm so proud to say that now we get more chances to present those great places and options in cultural and tourism industry for people all over the world. So whether you are planning on your journey to Chongqing or you barely just knew the city, that's okay. You are going to stay tuned with us in this episode because join us today is James in Taoranju Scenic Street, a place with characteristic Chongqing food and spectacular decoration, and our guest host Dai Hao in Mengfei's Small Noodles Restaurant, Charing Cross Road, London, to jointly live with us, and they will enjoy the authentic Chongqing food in both sides, in front of the camera, and we will discuss how the local culture spread by food, why Chongqing food are so amazing, and how to cook them, and what kind of food is on your bucket list when you are visiting Chongqing. Without further ado, let's say hi to Dai Hao and see what's going on in her area.
I'm Dai Hao now at Eastern Home Chongqing Net inclusive, and it's 12:32 London time. This day our Chinese New Year. As the month of people know, Chinese New Year is a festival of celebration, hope, ceremony, and health. It's so great we get together today to share our events and bring happiness to everyone. As you can see, the restaurant now is very busy. We play red lanterns, and put up Chinese couplets and the fortune characters today. And this year is the year of the rabbit, so you will find plenty of rabbit elements here too. Now let me show you some pictures. Here's some photos of the scenery in Chongqing. Okay, follow me. Famous here, and calligraphy is Chinese unique traditional cultural and traditional arts. With the beauty of cultural, calligraphy is the symbol of a nation's history and the witness of the development and changes in politics, economy, and ideology of the country. This traditional art sustains and records the cultural feelings and the memories of every generation of the Chinese.
Is it okay to move this camera a little bit to get closer to this artist?
Yeah, of course.
It must be really crowded in your area in the restaurant. I can see the background sound, and there are people talking and laughing.
Yeah.
There must be many people enjoying the Chongqing food in this restaurant, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly? Okay, so next we will experience traditional Chinese culture and taste the cuisine of Chongqing. So this is what is happening in London. Back to you, Echo.
Thank you, Dai Hao. Thank you for introducing your current location and your activity there. I've heard that there is going to hold an activity in the restaurant with some influencers being invited. I'm gonna mute you because it's kind of a thing that in the background there's things. And let's just leave Dai Hao for the preparation of her next reporting on this. And now it's the time for us to check the greetings from our chat room. Okay, this is what we've been having. Hi, Holy. Hi, Horn. Hi, Catalan. Hi, Shaddy. Hi, everyone. Everybody. Okay, now we can see these comments are really nice, and we are receiving greetings globally and beautifully. Yeah, beautiful watching calligraphy. It's really beautiful. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And while we're waiting for Daihao to begin her reporting on this, I have a question for you guys because since this event is themed for the food culture, especially the Chongqing food. So, did anyone know what's the biggest feature of Chongqing food? Is it the spicy, the strong flavor, or something else? So, I can see you guys are really concerned about this episode about this food culture, and I can see Dai Hao is getting back to us, and looks like she is ready for this.
Let's take a look at what's happening on the scene right now.
Hello everyone and welcome to Exploring Yummy Chongqing here in London. Now this is a first for me. I don't often get the pleasure to come out here too often. Where am I going? Oh, I'm going forward. So I'm especially excited to find out more about what's going on here in London, exploring Yummy Chongqing right here. And from what I understand about Chongqing, I heard it's a place where the impossible becomes possible. It has marvels of engineering, an incredible feat of engineering with some of the biggest and most incredible bridges, buildings in the whole of China. And I've even asked a few people, where exactly is Chongqing? And what I've realized, it depends who you ask, will tell you where it is. Sichuan? What is Sichuan? I don't know, but it doesn't even matter. But what I do know about Chongqing is the food is perhaps one of its most famous identities, especially one called hot pot. Yes, something called hot pot. I don't know if you've ever had hot pot before, but it's one of the most amazing dishes, and I've had it here in London, and it is phenomenal, and I can't wait to go back to Chongqing and try the hot pot. So how are we going to do the event today? Well, first of all, I would like to introduce some very special guests that we have here with us, who are representing not just China, but Chongqing as well. And I'd like to say who they are. So we have Miss Lin Xue, the Director of China National Tourist Office. We have Miss Amy Wong, the Deputy Director General, Hong Kong Economic Trade Office here in London. If we would like, well, they will come up and they'll do, how many minutes yet? Let's see what we want. Mei Dong and He Gongdong, the Secretary of Cultural Section of the Chinese Embassy. And we have Mr. Yu Peng, who is somewhere here, we will see him in just a moment, who's the former Minister Chancellor for Cultural Affairs here in the City of London. So without further ado, what I would like to do, I would like to invite each of those guests to just say a few words to everybody, and everybody one line here. That would be really much appreciated. So the first one we have is Ms. Lin Xue. I'd like to invite you to say, you can stand there if you feel most comfortable. Is absolutely fine. I think we can focus over here. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Xue. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Johan.
Yes.
And good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's such a great pleasure to be here to supporting Exploring Yummy Chongqing in London. And my name is Xue Ling. I'm from China National Tourist Office London. and welcome. So it is one of the, today's event is one of the highlights of 2023 Chinese New Year, the Year of Rabbit celebration in London. And I believe all of you know that Spring Festival is one of the most important celebrated festival across China. And the essence of the spirit of Chinese New Year emphasizes hope, home, harmony, and health. So, this year, the celebration comes to its climax with the Lantern Festival, which will be on Sunday, February the 5th, 2023. And we hope to share with all of you and also with the people living in Chongqing and maybe across the world of this festival. I don't want to mention anything about Chongqing. I think people in Chongqing already know. You are going to talk about it. So I'm going to talk about, share a little bit about why people love hot pot. I believe most of you have tried already so much. Hot pot is actually embodies a lot of Chinese culture. So first of all, hot pot is hot, right? It is a sort of intimacy, okay. And hot pot is round, and it means reunion. Hot pot soup means overcoming rigidity with softness, right? And hot pot embodies the meaning of eating in the same pot. This kind of eating in the same pot is not mandatory, and everyone can choose their favorite main ingredient, put in the hot pot, and enjoy it. So hot pot integrates the cooking process and the eating process, right? So hot pot, people in hot pot together with families, with partners, with friends, with brothers and sisters. So hot pot is a way of cooking, is a way of eating, it is a way of life, and culture that is changing is so powerful. So I could continue with this endlessly, but ladies want to enjoy the Chongqing food. That's a priority. So I hope everyone will share with your friends, your families, your children about Chongqing, and perhaps taste the delicacies when you are in Chongqing. Thank you very much. Thank you, Carol.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Lin Xue. That was very director of Okay, so without further ado, what we will do next is we'll watch the broadcast about Chongqing, which I'm really excited for because it's one of the few opportunities I really get to understand a lot about this amazing city. So without further ado, if we can get the broadcast up, that'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Dai Hao. Thank you, dear. I'm glad to see how the local authority value this cultural exchange event and created this social media campaign to promote the further influence of Chongqing food and culture in London. Now that we knew there are some nice places in the UK for foodies, we gotta ask James, a British who lives in Chongqing for years, to join us.
Alexander from iChongqing, and welcome to the Exploring Yummy Chongqing in London event. Now, like Echo just said, I'm not actually in London, so I've lived in Chongqing for about 20 years, and tonight I'm in this wonderful location called Taoran Daguanyuan. Now, if you're a little familiar with the city of Chongqing, I can give you a landmark which is right next door that you might know about, and that is the famous Hongen Si, the Hongen Temple Forest Park. So I had a walk there earlier this evening, and they got beautiful pathways. They got the famous temple on top of the hill, and if you go past, down below on the roads or on the river or in the other districts, you can see it for many miles around, and it's really a wonderful place to go to. Anyway, I want to tell you a little bit more about what Taoran Daguanyuan is. So if you start with the name Daguanyuan, it really means like a big scenic park, or I suppose in this case a more apt term would be a scenic street. And then Taoran, I can tell you, Taoran or Taoranju is a famous upmarket restaurant chain that you can find in not only in Chongqing, over the years, they've opened many stores around China and also some stores in other countries around the world. And this restaurant, I have a lot of memories with because when I first came to Chongqing, and we're talking August 2003, if you can believe it, some of my hosts at that time, they took me to try a lot of Chongqing food, and Taoranju in Xiaopingba district was one of the first places I went to. That's kind of when I fell in love with a new dish, which in English is like the fish tasting shredded pork, or in Chinese it's called 鱼香肉丝. Okay, and over the years, I've come to love, so many dishes in Chongqing, and even after 20 years, I'm still not bored of them at all. Okay, so in a few moments, we're going to have a great honour. We're going to be joined actually by the founder and chairwoman of the whole Taoranji group. So I'm really, really excited to meet Miss Yan Qi. So I'm going to invite her in, and we're going to talk a little bit about herself and also the street. And we're going to take a little walk along this alleyway. And then at the end of it, we're going to be seeing some friends over there. And we're going to be showing you and also trying some delicious, Chinese dishes. But one last word as well before we invite Director Yen into our live stream. Now, at the moment in China, it's coming up to about, it's past 8:45 in the evening. Now, a little bit earlier, like 1 or 2 hours ago, it was like really busy. There were loads of people here. But now it's kind of getting a little bit late, so a few of the places are starting to get ready to call it a night, and there are a few people around. But nevertheless, all of the lights are on, and there's still a really good atmosphere. Okay, so let's invite Director Yen into our live stream. 严总，欢迎加入到在我们的现场直播。
好，谢谢。
那首先能不能给自己做一个简单的介绍，然后能不能跟我们讲一讲超然大观园是什么样一个地方呢？
好的，那个陶然居大观园呢是在那个就是3年以前建筑的，整个呢据面积呢有5万平米。我们这个大观园上面呢有那个都是从大到小的非遗、老字号和网红店。当然，我们这个地方呢也是我们陶然居代表重庆的重庆菜，就在这个地方，重庆。对。
好，那我就补充这个内容。Okay, so I'm going to try and translate some of these answers into English. Okay, and just bear with me because I'm going to try my best. Okay, so the whole area, the scenic street, occupies a space of around 50,000 square meters. And really, it has a lot of interesting experiences and also some signature dishes that you can find in the restaurant chain Taoranju. And at the moment, she just pointed to this restaurant here. And actually, I can tell you when we came here a few days ago, we actually came here and we had lots of classic Chongqing dishes such as the chili chicken. Yeah, we had these, gigantic steamed buns, which I really liked, and also some nice, tasty soups as well. So I'm going to ask another question about the architectural style here. 那么严总啊，我也注意到这里的建筑风格很特别呢。能不能多给我们介绍有关这一方面的一些信息呢？
我们这个地方的话，它是打造的是国潮，就是我们让那个年轻人看得懂的国潮，就是在这个地方来吃，代表就是重庆的美食。这个地方也有火锅，也有就是重庆菜，还有一些非遗老字号的特色小吃。当然的话，这个整个大观园的话，它整个概括了我们重庆的就是区县的这种呢传承的，就是小吃，比如说有我们那个就是淋汤圆啊，还有我们的就是麻辣鸡啊，就是丰都的麻辣鸡，银昌的卤白窝，还有我们的那个就是辣子鸡啊，还有当然这个。
talking about maybe 1950s or 60s, trying to recreate that bygone era. And what's special about this place is, you have lots of, signature dishes of Chongqing, not only Taoranju, but also from some districts and counties. So we just mentioned the example of the Fengdu County spicy chicken, which is another dish that I really love. Not only do we have food stalls over here, but you can also buy a lot of handicrafts, artifacts with local characteristics. And as we're going to see a little bit earlier, and as we've witnessed this evening, they also have a lot of intangible cultural heritage, particularly the performances. So if you stay with us on this live stream, you're going to see lots of really good examples. And what I'm sure you will recognise would be the face changing from Citrini's opera. Okay, so I've just been told that our little time allocation is up. So I'm going to pass the floor back over to Echo, and in a few moments we're going to go and take a seat. We're going to meet a special friend that I'm sure you've noticed on the recent live stream with iChongqing, and I'll be seeing you again in a moment. So back over to you, Echo.
Thank you, James. I'm gonna mute you for just a minute, and it's glad to see that how they build this place as a tourism complex with fabulous decoration and creativity, neon lights to highlight the local character. We call it guochao. We call it Chinese style fashion. Also, it made this place a very trendy place for tourists and locals. And it's time to switch back to Dai Hao. She's going to taste the special Chongqing food for us. And these videos are made by those great content creators about their reactions of the Chongqing food. We have to check this out.
Give me some
Okay, Daihao, are you ready for this? We are really looking forward to your experiencing food, Chongqing food in London. It looks like they are still watching those videos, and I'm waiting for Daihao to get back with us. Okay. Hello.
Amazing, awesome. Thank you guys. That is Susan going on there. Influences. Thank you very much. Okay, and then now we have.
I'm sorry, dear. We can barely hear you because the background sound is quite loud. So you might have to switch some places for this. 声音有点太小了。
Hello everyone, and the video we just watched are the dishes we bring here today, and it's really a great honor to be here to show all of us how the Chongqing life.
Yeah, I know, but is it possible to, to take a place where you guys can separate your sound so that we can hear?
Do you hear me now? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, a little bit better.
Okay.
Here, 17 years ago, function opened in Seoul. And after all this time, we are so happy to say the spicy food from Chongqing, from China, start to get more and more popular here. And that's why we are so honored to see everyone
But
try the dishes from us.
I think you might have to put the camera a little bit closer to her because her sound is is a little bit low.
Yeah, next one. This is a hot
Is that
question.
okay now?
Yeah. Chongqing
It didn't get any better.
cheese. And the interesting thing about the dish is chicken is less than chili. It's deep fried chicken covered with all these chilies and the striped pepper. The taste is really rich because you can feel the chicken. It's not like chicken any longer. It's something like mixed with spicy and nothing taste. So try eating later. I hope you're gonna like it. And then the next dish we bring here today is Mao Xianwang. This dish by the name is a combination of the beef tripe and the duck blood. So I hope everyone's familiar with it, but it's so famous from Chongqing, and it's originally from Chongqing. So
Whoa.
how to cook this dish is based on oil. So you boil the fresh
Wow.
ingredients, and then you make the soup. Afterwards, pour the soup on the ingredients, and in the end, you pour oil on the top of the dish. That's what we saw in the video earlier. It's so cool.
Well, it looks so young.
Yeah. Okay, so at this moment, since right now we have okay.
Yes, Chongqing, but where in Chongqing?
Interesting.
Good action! I know that because I wrote it down and I researched a lot before. But that's really awesome. I'm very pleased about that, actually. I've actually never been to Chongqing. Well, I can't wait to go to Chongqing. It's going to be really awesome. So what is it you're trying now?
I can hear you, but with a lower sound, and the audio is not really good.
So what can they expect to taste when they taste it? Is it going to be really
I don't think you are connecting your phone with your AirPods. I think the sound comes from your phone directly. Might be. You might have to check the Bluetooth on this phone.
garlic, ginger?
Okay, so probably we could okay.
Some people want to eat it like a snack directly.
Why don't you find out what you think of this dish? I think it's a good idea. So what do you let's ask our foodie. Again, next one. Depends on how you make it yourself, or how is it from there?
The scale, I think. So it's Bangkok is more comfortable, right? Because it's just so compact and
I think it's like it's not
here. You know,
Yeah.
everything's.
I suppose more people speak English in Thailand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I suppose like Bangkok
For
too.
sure.
Yeah, should try learning a little bit of Mandarin.
Okay, I'm switching back to James while Dai how is preparating for this later reporting.
Really
Okay.
cool.
Hi,
Let's just
James.
get one other person from this table.
Hello, Aki, and like I said, as promised, yeah, we've got a special guest with us. So you might remember when we did when we covered the fireworks for the Chinese New Year, we had Alex, our Nambing Lu, and he was joined by his lovely wife Julia. And it's a real pleasure today because this is actually the first time we've done a live stream together. So
Well,
welcome.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. And you know, by watching this, even though I feel like we are oceans and thousands of miles apart, but tonight I feel like we're sharing one table and trying all of these foods together. So it's a really special night, and I feel like we're really connected. So I'm looking forward to trying these delicious dishes that will be prepared here, and it's an honor to be here in Chongqing to try it firsthand, prepared right in front of us.
So we've got two dishes which should hopefully be brought out to us in a moment. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about them in advance. So one of them is called Mao Xue Wang. Now, Mao Xue Wang, if I had to give you an English description, would be something like a soup with lots of spicy soup with vegetables, and the key ingredients I would say is congealed duck's blood inside
Wow.
it. And I can tell you, I've got some personal stories with that as well. So you know, I've been married here for almost 18 years, and remember when we went on a first date? Actually, we went to the Tsuchiko Old Town.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and actually went into a street restaurant there, and she recommended this dish for us.
Well, brings back memories. So I'm really looking
It
forward
certainly
to trying
does.
that.
I know there's so many delicious dishes in Chongqing that really, for many of them, I can remember the first time I ever tried them.
Well, I mean, I am not familiar with the Chongqing, cuisine, as most of us. By the time it reaches our, final destination country like Lithuania, it's been interpreted in so many different ways that it loses sometimes its authenticity. So tonight, I will definitely try the real delicious Chongqing food that is very diverse, as I can imagine, and very rich and flavorsome. I can smell these spices in front of me, and wow, it is very rich and powerful.
Okay,
it's here.
so the Mao Shu Wang has come out, and in a moment we're going to be having another dish called the chili chicken or lanzi. So with that one, we're going to have very small cubes of chicken, and it's kind of fun in a way because you have to search for them a little bit because they're kind of buried in a big pile of chilies.
Wow.
So so Julie, I know you've been in Chongqing now for about half a year or so.
Yes, they're barely 6 months or so. And to tell you the truth, I've not really had the chance to explore all of the cuisine. Of course, the most popular is the hot pot, so it's mostly that social dish that we're all sharing. But tonight, I'm very excited to try something new.
Okay, so we are going to dig into this in a moment.
Yeah.
But in Sichuanese cuisine, we have such a big variety of raw ingredients. And we've got a dish here with 9, I suppose 10 technically, of some of the most important ingredients you can find in Sichuanese cuisine. So if you have a look at them here, can you recognize some of them? So maybe I can test you on these. And I'll give you control of them and have a smell. What do you think?
I can only guess this is some sort of a nut, maybe a nutmeg. I have really no idea.
Yeah, okay, so I did study the Chinese name of these a little bit earlier, but my memory's already going a bit hazy. But I could tell you in English that the name of this is called a cardamom.
Oh, cardamom.
Yeah,
Yes,
so a lot of these also have Chinese medicinal properties. Because like in Chongqing, the climate is very humid. I mean, have you noticed that?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you're into like Chinese medicine, if you live in like a very humid climate and maybe you don't have the right lifestyle or have the right diet, then you could suffer from something called internal dampness.
I've heard about this. So this is actually tackling that internal dampness and helps you balance your.
Absolutely. So internal. I mean, of course, dampness is not really a good thing. So if you're home is like too damp, maybe it's going to
Yes.
damage, some of the walls or the furniture, and you get some mold. So it's kind of the same with the human body as well. If you have a lot of dampness inside you, yeah, it's going to cause you some illness. So, like I said, the ingredients in Chinese in Chongqing are not only delicious, but a lot of them have important medicinal properties. So, such as expelling extra heat from the body or dampness. So we've already seen cardamom. Then we've got this one. I can give you a piece.
Well, I am from Lithuania, so the only spice I recognize here is the garlic. Our food is very basic, and the only word to describe it is heavy. So it's not very sophisticated comparing to this.
Okay, so we've got a lot here. So I'm just going to very briefly go through the rest of them for you.
Yes.
So this is called cinnamon bark.
Yes.
Okay, if you have a smell of it,
Oh,
it has a very
absolutely.
strong cinnamon smell.
Oh, love it.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
then you have the famous red chilies. Then we also have the prickly ash. So I can show you here. So in Chongqing and Sichuan, the food is not only spicy, but also has a numbing flavor. Let's take one of those. So then when
Very
we say
powerful.
the flavor of Chongqing is ma la, the ma, the numbing flavor of it, it comes from the prickly ash here. Then we also got garlic, ginger. This one here, sorry. This one bajiao, so this is aniseed,
Aniseed,
and also got bay leaf.
bay leaf.
Yeah, so a lot of these you can find in a lot of famous dishes.
And this was
Thai ginger.
beautiful.
Okay, so here is the spicy Chongqing soup with congealed duck blood and some vegetables. So are you ready to give it a try?
Absolutely.
Ladies first.
So, my chopstick skills. Wow, so we've got most of the spices are here. So we'll try a little bite of this.
Okay, so this is the congealed duck's blood.
And this is the chicken.
This is like spam.
Oh, spans. Okay, we should try this. Very delicious.
And we've also got some
Very
other
rich.
ingredients. So we've also got quail eggs.
Oh, I love this, yes.
Yeah, so they're very tasty. I think I'm not quite sure what that is. Maybe a bit like seaweed, perhaps. So, like I said, this brings back a lot of memories of that first date 18 years ago. Okay, so I'm going to give this a little try. Okay, that's very tasty. And the soup is very nice. So how spicy do you find it? Do you think it's okay?
Well, spicy food is a little difficult to handle, but I think it's an acquired taste. So with time, you can really accustom to the flavors and the taste. And I think after a few more months, I'll be able to fully accept the spiciness of this cuisine. It is really spicy.
Okay, so I'm not going to chicken out. I'm going to try some of this duck's blood myself. So really, I'll eat anything in Chongqing, but I suppose only two things. Personally, I'm not so keen on. So one would be seafood, and the other one is kind of internal organs. But just for you guys today, I'm going to give this a try. You know, the texture is a lot like jelly, isn't it? I'm sure this one is full of nutrients. Okay, excellent. So now I'm going to be joined by our Sichuanese chef. Okay, so 师傅你好，你好。
Hello, hello.
欢迎到重庆。
Okay.
Tell us a little more about the flavors, I guess.
好的，能不能给我们？首先我有点好奇啊，最开始你是怎么选择的称为川菜厨师呢？
因为我们重庆人比较好客，都喜欢吃，所以包括我家里面以前也都是世代都是做厨师的，所以我就选择了做厨师。
Okay, so I just asked our chef today, why did he choose in the first place to become a Sichuanese chef? So he said, one of the key characteristics of people in Chongqing is that they're very hospitable. So that is something that brushed off on him at an early age, and then it was then that he decided he wanted to become a Sichuanese chef. Okay, 那你觉得要做川菜的时候，你觉得最应该注意的是什么呢？
因为川菜嘛，就是 麻辣鲜香。就是今天这道菜就是我们重庆的地道的一道名菜，叫毛血旺。它那个主要就是把那个花椒和海椒、辣椒这些用得非常好，就是充分体现了我们那种巴渝文化和重庆文化。而且这个菜就是在重庆，包括在全中国，在全世界，基本上能吃川菜的人都知道，都喜欢。
Okay, so this is one of the most popular Chongqing Sichuanese dishes around the world and also in China. And I suppose if you want to make Sichuanese food, you really got to pay attention to the balance in ingredients. So, for example, with this one, we have to use a lot of the prickly ash, also a lot of the chilies, and also the ingredients have to be very fresh
Yes.
as well.
I can see this is very complex and very flavorful, full of flavor. Yeah.
Yeah, so do you have any questions you would like to ask the chef?
Wow, this is, I guess, as you said, every dish has a dominant spiciness. So I guess in this, the dominant spice would be the...
Yeah, so the prickly ash.
And
And you can actually see we have a lot of the prickly ash, floating on the surface here.
Gives it like a smoky taste, or what kind of...
I suppose the prickly ash has a numbing flavor to it. So it's basically the ma in the ma la, the numbingly spicy.
Very delicious. I'm going to give it another
Yeah,
bite.
you can get stuck in. So 师傅还有个问题啊，因为我们知道全球有很多人喜欢吃川菜啊，但是呢，在国外可能做川菜有点难度啊，那能不能给我们做国外的朋友啊，就说想做川菜的一些朋友们，给他们一些建议啊，或者一些点子呀，他们要把川菜那个炒得很好吃，他们该怎么做呢？
好的。实际上现在叫网络呀，什么都已经很发达了，不管是以前的书籍、菜谱也可以看，然后网络上面其实也可以学，而且包括现在我们重庆有很多那种就是做那种川菜的底料的那种厂，所以拿起来那个料包，基本上就可以还原到你在英国伦敦，如果做酸菜鱼，我就可以，因为它没有像我们的淡水鱼，可能它主要是以海鱼为主。那我只要有这个酸菜鱼的料包，我基本上都可以做啊。但是有的菜，说实话，叫我们做厨师叫做一辈子学一辈子，肯定你要想做到很精，可能还是要不断的学习和探讨才能够，不是短时间就能够完成。但是短时间的话，通过这种料包啊、料理包啊，它也可以做一道比较地道的那种传统的川菜都行。
Yeah, okay, so I've just asked our chef today, and our chef is also from Taoranju, the restaurant chain. And I was asking, a lot of people, love Sichuanese food around the world. So, does he have any tips for people who would like to try to make this at home? And basically answered this in 2 points. So one is that, of course, in many cities around the world, including my hometown, Leicester, maybe also in Lithuania, you can find a lot of, stores that sell Chinese ingredients. So, and he's saying, like on the internet nowadays, you can find, lots of videos, also lots of cookbooks. So it's possible now to buy all of the raw ingredients and have a good try at home. But at the same time, if you really want to make an authentic dish, such as this, of course, it's going to take a lot of practice over a number of years before you can make it like this.
Because to most of us, the taste is so unfamiliar that it really just blows your mind when you try something like this.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got another classic dish. This is the chili chicken. So, Julia, what are your first impressions?
First impressions, it's really pretty on the eyes. I like food that not only tastes good, but actually is aesthetic and pleasing and colorful. I just love the colors and the texture. It looks crunchy. Some sesame, greens, it looks delicious. I love food that actually just looking at it makes you hungry. So I'm dying to try that.
Yeah, so
I think
love
this will be my kind of food.
Oh, absolutely. So I love the flavors. So all of the colors as well, especially the black chilies.
Yes, let's go ahead and try it.
Okay, we're going to give it a try. And 师傅啊，也能不能给我们简单的介绍这盘菜啊？它有哪些特点呢？
这道菜是我们重庆最有名气的一道菜，叫辣子鸡，就是在辣子里面去找鸡，而且那种鸡的那种香，叫又麻又辣，而且你越吃越上瘾，到重庆来，大家都会吃这个辣子鸡的。
Okay. Yeah, so this is one of the most famous dishes in Chongqing. It's called 辣子鸡. So literally chili chicken. Yeah, so if you're a friend from other parts of China or from overseas and you come to Chongqing, this is definitely one you must try. Okay, so we've got a couple of seconds remaining. So having tried it today, what are your impressions? Do you like the flavour?
Absolutely. Something crispy
Mm.
and full of flavor.
And it's kind of fun at the same time because you have to kind of like look through the chilies, yeah, to go and
And
find
crunchy chilies.
them.
How about it?
This is my favorite,
非常好吃。
I would say.
Oh, the chicken is so good as well. Yeah, kind of very crispy.
Sweet, salty. It has spicy. It has all of these spices together.
我们重庆人在吃这个鸡的时候就喜欢这样，在里面那个
Okay,
刨开辣椒，然后在
like
里
I
面
say,
炒
it's
鸡
kind of
就是
fun
这样。
this dish as well because you got to look for the cubes of chicken inside the chilies.
Thank you.
So our chef was just saying, people in Chongqing just love to do this.
就是
Okay, so back over to Echo in the studio.
Thank you, James. Thanks for this great experiencing the local food in Chongqing. And we will get back to Daihao because I can't wait to see her reaction and the people there, how they enjoy this food, authentic dishes of Chongqing. Yeah, I can hear you, but the sound is still a little bit low.
Okay, I'm trying. Okay, so at this moment, just right now, we have friends in Chongqing joining us for the same Chongqing food. The two sides will experience Chongqing's cultural, taste the same dishes, and share the festival blessings together. So, okay, so we already watched the short video about our first dishes of group of dishes. Red chicken in a pile of chilies and assorted meats in curry sauce. Okay, so next I'm going to interview one of our guests today who is invited to share our food together, okay?
Okay.
About our these challenges, is that okay? Yeah, okay. So which of these two dishes do you prefer?
Well, I actually love both of them because they are really salty.
Okay, but you have to choose.
Okay, so if I have to choose one, I love Mao Shu because I always love the dark blood. Yeah. And let me. So I think this is very difficult to find in England, and I'm surprised and to have this dark blood, to find in this restaurant. Yeah, how exciting!
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so people were not able to travel to China in the last few years because of the COVID-19, right?
Yeah.
So, and now it has been opened up again.
Yeah.
I'm sure that many people around the world love to visit China now. So that's great. We're so glad you're joining us and restaurant takes our cuisine. So, this is just share with us what's your food right now. Excited.
Yes, I'm very excited to know how this Chongqing Food Festival events happening in London. And I'm very proud as a Chongqing niece, and I can have such great Chongqing food in here. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so you say our Chinese New Year. Do you have one or two sentences for who it is? Because we do live streaming and we have the overseas audience. Yeah, just one or two sentences to English or English to our audience.
Okay. Happy Year of a Rabbit. I wish you all the best.
Okay. Why not we together to send the message? Okay. And we're going to say Happy Chinese New Year and say 新年快乐 together. Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Happy Chinese New Year! 大家新年快乐 Thank you so much. Okay, so just right now, just in Chongqing, I think they already started the second missions now. So back to Echo. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Daihao. I think Daihao is going to present her next part of the food tasting for us. And before that, I want to say that the spicy chicken are really, and the Mao Shui Wang are really popular dishes among Chongqing people. I remember when I was a kid, our family would arrange a trip at the weekend just to explore where to find the most delicious spicy chicken in Mao Shui Wang downtown. That's how Chongqing people celebrate their passion for life. And I'm really surprised to see how Julia would enjoy the spicy food, because I know from her hometown, the food culture there is really different. And I can see how she could enjoy the food culture here. And I'm really amazed by her love for the food, and I like her reaction the best. And thank you guys for watching this until now. It's been 1 hour, and we are continuing our activity reporting on this show today. We have a lot of content for you to feel the vibe, feel this vibrant energy of our food culture, and you have to stay tuned with us, okay? We can see Winter Sweet, Neo Mino, and Chao Fa Yue. These great followers have been always connecting with us on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook account page, and we can looking forward to you guys. And okay, and I can see that I think I'm switched back to Daihao because she is ready for this, right? Hello. Hi, Daihao.
Awesome. As you can see, everybody here has tried for that strategy, and the feedback so far has been phenomenal. And now we're going to go on to the next dish, which is actually called mouse. I probably said that really trippy, so I apologize in advance. That's what we're going to do next. But before we do, just come over here. Thank you very much. We have our foodie, Mike Fresh Mikey, and we have our next video coming up from Fresh Mikey. So if we can just take a look at the video, it's going to come on straight away. Okay, I've got that.
Okay, we can watch the video. Okay, they are watching the video, and we can watch the video either. Back to you, Daihao.
Just like everything the city last year was Germany, which is really traveled this year with the few more slides.
And one more thing, what do you think is the most, not necessarily great or most interesting dish that you probably made?
Most recommendation food from egg is quite interesting. it's just like so many ways you can turn egg into like different things. So you have like a really like food egg or super fried at the bottom. It's just the egg has so many potential for being like a different egg. And what do you think of the Chongqing team? Super crispy and just like really, so what are the things that you're going to be looking out for during this next tasting of the Chongqing? More spice, flavour, and exciting, colourful fragrance, and good presentation. Awesome. Amazing. Awesome. All right, all good. So we're not going to be expecting that everyone will get one of those as well, wherever they are. And anything else you would like to explain? Maybe. I love the egg. The key ingredient of everything.
Okay, remember guys, we are reporting an activity in Chongqing and London where both sides are enjoying the Chongqing food like 辣子鸡, the spicy chicken, like 毛血旺, like the boiling fish and the chicken dishes, the stewed chicken. We call it 鸡公煲 for you. And stay tuned with us, okay? Dai Hao is going to come back with us with this great reporting in London, in the restaurant in London, where they serve Chongqing food for those YouTubers, for those content creators, and some great guests in their area. And we are waiting for everybody to get back with us. And Jem is ready, right? Okay. I'm waiting for James to get ready. James, are you ready for this?
Welcome back. And it's round 2 for us now. So, Julia, are you feeling ready?
Oh, I'm numb, but I'm ready. My mouth is really on fire. But I couldn't stop eating this chicken. I think I'm ready to move on to this beautiful dish.
So this dish here is like chili fish.
Chili fish.
And in a way, it looks a little similar to the duckling soup, doesn't it?
Yes.
And actually, if you can compare them side by side right here.
Yes. Looks very similar.
So I
but...
kind of expect the flavour is going to be similar.
Oh,
so,
wow, this is beautiful. James,
yeah,
I'll serve you, but this looks really delicious.
Okay, but as they say, the proof is in the pudding, right? So
yes.
we're going to give this a try.
Some vegetable.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's give this a try, but it does look delicious.
I do love fish, and we're quite far from the ocean, but fish is quite popular in Chongqing.
Oh. Although, I mean, I don't think this is like sea fish. Yeah, it's just kind of more like river fish. And you know, when you go to a restaurant in Chongqing or like around China, you have a choice of like different varieties. I suppose like one of the most popular ones, kind of in terms of value, is kind of like the silver carp. So with that one, it's not so expensive, but at the same time, you don't get so many bones in it.
Yes.
But I think this is really delicious. It has a similar flavour, of course, to the duckling soup. But I would say at the same time that the fish, the flavour is really kind of soaked into the fish. Do you find that?
I do find it very tender and not very spicy. The taste is very subtle. So I do find it much more mild.
So I'm curious as well, in Lithuania, do people like spicy food?
No, our food is pretty bland. People like just the basics, potato and meat. And as I said, there's only one word that can describe it, is heavy food. So this is very just a variety of flavors that really literally burst in your mouth. So I am really discovering a completely new taste and variety that is so unfamiliar. So every time you dine out, it's a really an exciting experience.
So like I'm from a young age in England, because I grew up in England and I lived there basically until I was about 22 or 23. Yeah, and then after university, I came to work in China, and I've really never left since. But in England, we have people and communities from all around the world, and in my hometown particularly, we have a lot of people who have lived there for many generations, and they may be their family members originally came from maybe India, Pakistan, but also many other countries as well. In England now we have a lot of Thai, like Japanese, and they also have a lot of spicy dishes. So from a young age, I tried that a lot, and actually my mother in England really likes spicy food. So it just happens that around the year before I came to China, I had an interview kind of with a intermediary, and really talked about where should you go in China, because at the time I had a choice from cities, kind of from the northeast, south, and west, and we talked about two things. So one was that I loved spicy food from a young age, and the other one was that my hometown happens to have a sister city agreement with Chongqing. So because that they suggested I come to Chongqing.
Well, you found your food heaven, your ideal. But I will have to get used to this. But this is something that looks more of a traditional. Is this potatoes and meat?
Okay, so this is, I think, is taro chicken.
So is this radish or potatoes?
Actually, it looks a lot like potatoes, and in a moment you can actually have a closer look. It tastes a bit like potatoes. It looks like potatoes, but actually they're called taros.
Oh.
So again, they grow in the ground. But I would say if you eat them, they're a lot thicker than potatoes. So really, this is called taro chicken.
Well,
So should we get sticking?
I would love to try that because there are no chilies that we can see. So this is a good sign for those that can't handle too much spice.
Although I'm a little bit curious, the sauce is kind of dark, isn't it? I'm just wondering if maybe there's some chili sauce
Yes.
in there. That's a possibility. Okay, so I'm going to help myself to a little bit here. So like I was saying, at the moment it's kind of getting on for about 9:30 p.m. in Chinatown, because of course we're GMT +8 over here. But even so, we can see we've got a lively atmosphere. So in a few moments, I'm kind of hoping that we're going to get to speak a little bit with some of our friends over here.
Absolutely, I'd love to know what do the locals find most tasty, delicious food? Because everyone has their favorites, so I'd really like to know. And also, I often ask for people's recommendations when I go to a restaurant. What do they recommend to eat? Because I feel they know best what's the most delicious and yummy things they have. So I'm adventurous that way because I enjoy most foods. Oh yes, this is mild, and so it just shows me that there's different levels of spiciness.
I think there's definitely some chili that's gone into the sauce. But the spicy flavour is very mild, isn't it? So it's actually, even if you don't normally eat spicy food, you can definitely eat this, and it's not going to be overpowering, is it?
Yes.
Okay, while you guys are enjoying the food, I'm switching back to London to see if they have new things, new dishes for us. Okay.
Okay, the floor is back to you.
Hi, Daihao. How's there? Hello. Hi.
Okay, I can't hear you at all. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Welcome back to our channel. Can you hear me now? Is that okay? Is that okay? All right.
Okay. Okay.
Well, we already watched the video about our second dishes, second group of dishes, Chongqing style boat, grouper fish fillet with bean sprouts, and Chongqing chicken hot pot, right? So now we are going to interview the audience here. Okay, so follow me. Thank you. What's your meaning? It's awesome. Okay, so now we'll let us
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm Amy from Yummy, content creator, hand model, through food from Fresh Mike Eats, basically, based in London.
All right. Okay. You have been invited to join us in this restaurant with our cuisine of Chongqing, right? So, can you stand the spicy? Is that okay for you? Is that good?
Oh yeah, no, I love spicy food.
Oh, really?
I like it mostly. I can't feel my face. It's mouth numbing. It's bring it my way.
Okay, so the atmosphere here is very exciting, right? So, what's your favorite right now?
Yeah, no, it's very, very exciting. It's very buzzing. The atmosphere is right up my street. I love it when it's really busy. Lots of food, lots of good food, lots of great company. Yeah, Mr. May is a fantastic restaurant. It's great inside. Yeah, I'm excited to try their food later.
Yeah, we're so glad you can come here. Yeah, we're so glad.
Thanks so much for having me. It's been amazing. Everything's been absolutely.
So we say our Chinese New Year. So do you have one or two sentences to our audience, to our overseas audience?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay,
Oh, really good. Cantonese. You can speak Cantonese. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have you ever been to China before?
I've never been to China, but I go to Hong Kong.
All right. So trust me. If you have any chance, you have to go to
I'd love
China, to go to the Chongqing, to enjoy the food there.
Yeah, I'd love to go. Any opportunities to go.
Welcome. Welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Okay. So this is what is happening in London now. Back to you, Ethel. Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna get back with James, and we'll get back to you later, Dai Hao, because I know there are more content creators in this area and chefs that are about to talk about their secret recipe about the dishes in the hot pot. And I'm switching back to James. And James is going to interview some nice people on the street about their reaction of the food of this scenic area. Okay. Hello. Okay. While James is adjusting the equipment, we are still connecting with London, and we can see there are people enjoy food there. This is the camera in London. Okay, James is ready. Hey, man. Hi. Can you hear?
Okay, so I can't see you at the moment, Echo, but I know I'm on the camera here. So can you hear me over there?
Yeah, I can hear
give me a
you.
sign.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So that's a good thing. Okay, so we've tried some of the beautiful dishes here. So before we go and say hello to some of the other guests and customers around here, so we've already tried 2 rounds of Chinese dishes. So what do you think? Because you said normally in everyday life you don't eat so much Chinese food.
Yes.
Is that right?
Absolutely. I mean, this was a feast to try so many new delicious dishes in one day. So I think it's wise for us now to take a break, to give our palate a break, because it's our mouth. Well, my mouth is on fire, and go ask a few locals what do they think about the local food. Is it as spicy to them? Can they eat that spicy? How spicy they like it? What's their favorite dish? I have lots of questions.
Yeah, me too. And especially what you said just then, it's only been a couple of minutes. since I started having it yesterday, you can still kind of feel the spice. It has a very long aftertaste, isn't it? But a very pleasant one at the same time. Okay, so can you see anybody we can say hello to?
Well, let's just go this way and see who we can find.
Okay,
Maybe-
so like I said, it's already coming up to, it's about 20 to 10 over here. So it's not quite as busy as it was before.
I
Okay,
see here-
so should you say, I'm going to say hello to them.
Yes, they're having a meal already.
Hello, so yeah, excuse me, can we ask you some questions?
So, let's look. Maybe spicy. Can you tell us what you're having?
Okay, so this is the ladzaji that we had a couple of minutes ago. Okay, so what's all your impressions? Do you like it?
Yes, it's more spicy than I thought, but it's very tasteful and I really love it.
Okay.
Are you local? You from here? You local?
These two, they are local people.
Okay, where are you from?
Henan
Oh,
province.
Henan. Okay, do you have much spicy food in Henan?
Yes, I love it. It's a place where you can have all kinds of flavors, and Chongqing cuisine is actually one of the most popular cuisines.
Okay, and also another question I'd like to ask as well. So there's a place called Taonan Daguanyuan. So what made you choose to come here tonight?
Oh, I think the atmosphere is very nice. The lights colorful, and the service is good. Yeah.
Okay, and how did you hear about this place?
I think it's awesome. And maybe I could recommend my friends, families to here.
Yeah, okay. And I can see we've got another guest over here as well. So what's your name? Could you introduce yourself?
Oh, I'm Chini.
Chini?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a nice but interesting name. Yeah, okay. So have you had a good time here this evening?
Yes. This place is even better than we expected. It's vibrant. We love it.
Okay, so apart from the food, have you done anything else interesting here?
I love the atmosphere here and the colorful lights, the spring festival lights, and the traditional decorations. I think it's a great place to take photos.
Wow, and what did you order here? I've not seen these like sweet or savory or. Could you tell me what this is?
Oh, so these are steamed meat buns.
酱肉大包。
Oh, jiangrou. Okay, so these are kind of like maybe minced beef, are kind of in a soy sauce, marinated. Okay, perhaps could you open one of them up for us?
Okay.
Wow, look at that.
It's delicious.
Yeah, that filling looks so delicious.
Okay, are you willing to share? This is my question. I would really like to try. I would love to
Okay.
try.
Oh, so they look so delicious. So Julie wants to try one.
The people here are very generous. And another thing I've observed, we really enjoy their food. They've ordered a lot. So I'm going to help you guys. Oh my goodness. You know what? This is one of my favorite things, I think. So going forward, I need to know the exact name of this because this is delicious. It's not spicy. Beef and vegetable, and it's very like juicy. It's not dry, which is really rare. That is really amazing stuff.
Okay.
Well, thank you
so-
very much. I'm gonna take this with me.
Okay then, so we can have a look around, see if we can find anybody else to go and say hello to. Okay, so also, have you noticed this evening there's been quite a lot of performances as well?
Oh yes.
Because when we did that interview with director Yen right at the beginning, she said, one of the specialties of this place, the Taoran Scenic Street, is that they have a lot of
Yes.
performances that are based on intangible cultural heritage. So a bit earlier, we saw the example of the face changing.
Absolutely.
But have you seen any other performances that have really caught your eye?
I've seen the fire with the show with the fire, the changing face, I think when you come to dine out and spend time with the family or friends, entertainment is very important. And so you want to enjoy your evening and not just share delicious meal, but also see some sort of sinking cultural, especially for visitors that are not familiar with Chongqing. So folklore, costumes, dancing, singing, it's all part of an experience that, brings you closer to that culture. So I feel that this village kind of experience is a really got a full package. So I really will bring my visitors and my parents when they come and visit. It's so much more than just going out and eating a meal. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. Just the atmosphere, the beautiful architecture, and also the variety of performances. Yeah, it's really made the evening very special.
Because you can't even feel that you are in the heart of a mega city with that big of population that is so urban and so advanced. Here you feel like you're in a little bubble, a village
Yeah,
almost.
I know what you mean. And we were saying beginning, it's really we're right next to a hilly park, yeah, called Hongan Temple, Hongsi Gongyuan. So I don't know exactly how high our elevation is, but maybe we're like 100, maybe 200 meters above the city. So, like you said, you have like a very quiet, serene atmosphere over here.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've been like really impressed with the performances as well. And some of the dances are very graceful. They had one, kind of in the traditional hanfu, like the Chinese costume, and the dances. They're kind of like slow and graceful. Reminds me a little bit of Tai Chi. Yeah, but anyway, in a moment we're going to go back over to London to see what's going on over there. So, Echo, I'm going to pass the floor back to you.
And I'll finish my bun.
Okay, thank you, James. Thank you, Julia. You know that our commentary have received this. I think this one might want half of your baozi, the huge baozi in your hand, Julia. It looks surely really delicious. And we can, while we're waiting for Dai Hao get back to us, we can see that people are in this restaurant and enjoying their food, right? It's okay that you just took the camera and wandering around and see what's going to happen. Hello? Hi.
Alright. Hi, hello everyone. Okay, so now we have Japan. Okay, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Johan, and I've been doing a lot of the event here in London, in exploring Chongqing in London. So I've been here the whole day with everyone else and all these amazing organisers and influencers and beautiful people and beautiful food.
Okay, so this time we have the Badao Tao hot pot, right? Okay, so
Hot pot GE.
GE.
Yeah.
Badao Tao is the restaurant. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, here's the hot pot. There's no doubt that Chongqing hot pot is the city's most popular dish, right? Yeah. And Chongqing has hot pot restaurants everywhere. If you look up on the map, on the street, chances are you're near one. Okay, so it's a very native dish. Yes. Okay, so that's interesting. When you eat the hot pot, how do you choose the dipping sauce?
Well, first of all, what I do is that I close my eyes like this, and I pick, and I hope it tastes good. So it's like diversity of flavors, and because if you choose the flavors which aren't nice, you can add more of another until you get the ratio of what you do and do not like. So it's a little bit of guesswork. Some experts, professionals know exactly what to do. And people like me are just like, oh, try a bit of that, try a bit of this. So diversification, that's it. Yes.
Okay, so can you stand spicy? Can you stand spicy very well?
Yes, I can, because when I think back to this of the Badao,
Yeah, Badao. Yeah, yeah, very well.
Sorry, my Chinese is 不好.
No, you're good. You're so good.
And I think that, so my understanding originated from this trade group from Chongqing to Beijing, where they would trade things like salt, tea, copper ore, all these kinds of things. So then on this trade route, because there's lots of different flavours, the tradesmen, they would, when they were resting, they would take all these different flavours from along this trade route and bundle them together and create what we have now is a hot pot. And it was supposed to give everybody more energy, more vigour, and a feeling of calmness, but also excitement, and being able to basically carry on with the journey. So that's where it comes from. And this particular one with Bao Da Tang, has been going for 30 years, I think, under the command of Wen. I wrote it down here. Wang Weijun. And I think he's done a really incredible job, or she has done really. That person's done a really incredible job of getting this Bao Da Tang into everybody's minds. So yes.
All right, thank you so much. So you can, if you can't stand the spicy, you also can choose the
original.
You can choose the spicy hot pot. You can choose the double flavor hot pot.
Yeah.
Have you tried this before? You tried this before?
No, I haven't. But I'm excited to give it a go.
Yeah, we call it 鸳鸯锅.
Yuan Yong Guo. Yuan Yong Guo. All right, where am I going?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, Chinese people love to sit around a table and Chinese people love to sit around a table and place different ingredients into a barley broth, and this special meal is hot pot. You can choose spicy hot pot, and you can choose the double flavor hot pot. Okay. Now my mouth is watering now. So back to you, Echo. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dai Hao, for inviting this gentleman to share his insights of hot pot for us, and also letting us to know Ba Dao Tang Hot Pot Restaurant, their brands, their half-made cuisine, hot pot cuisine, was so ready to get into the local market that I can see that there must be many people, Chinese people or foreign friends, they wanted to enjoy the hot pot by this brand's product. And we have some videos about this hot pot brand. What's that?
王冠飘香，锅头蟹脚喽！唱起民谣后台啊，赶着马帮出远门呐，难忘送我五彩瑶台的人儿深情啊，呀耶！
传承马帮，品味重庆，陆派八岛烫火锅。
小姑娘嫁到远方，没有一张雪白面包皮，就不算不迷姑娘喽。马大米，
在八岛烫吃点好火锅。
Sorry guys, I'm manipulating my content on another laptop. So this is how I react like this. And we are getting back to James and Julia, where they are appreciating the hot pot there.
For that.
Okay.
The most famous hot pot, as I can imagine, is that right?
Yeah, so this is the famous Chongqing hot pot. Okay, and we're going to give you a brief explanation of how it works. I mean, have you tried hot pots before?
I've tried a few times here, but every time it's slightly different. It's got grid, it's got sections. So this one, tell me about it.
Yeah, so I know exactly what you mean. If you go to different restaurants, different brands, they kind of have slightly different flavors. Because the recipe, even though they all are, they all have all of these basic ingredients here, but the kinds of medicinal herbs you have in China, like, are so varied that maybe the different restaurants will have their own secret recipe. So they might have these in different amounts. Maybe they have some of the secret ingredients, and then the way they prepare and they cook it is a little bit different. Okay, so we're going to go over the basic process. So inside, of course, we have lots of chilies, also lots of prickly ash again. So that gives it its numbingly spicy flavor. But that's only really half the story. So what's also important is the side dishes we have here. So here we have another bowl, and inside we have some sesame oil. So Julia, do you have any ideas what the sesame oil could be there for?
Well, I could imagine we could neutralize the spiciness, possibly.
Some people say that if you add some vinegar to it, it might be helped reduce the spiciness a little bit. But actually, I've met with a lot of hot pot chefs in the past, and they've told me it has a number of functions. So one of them, of course, is when you take the food you just cooked in the boiling broth here, that is very hot. So if you put it in the sesame oil, it's going to cool it down a little bit for you.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Also, of course, the sesame has its own flavor as well, so it makes it tastier. Yeah, and then also sometimes if you take some vegetables or some meat out there, once the soup has evaporated, it can go a little bit dry. So it kind of acts like a bit of a lubricant as well.
Yes, makes sense.
Yeah, so normally in the sesame oil, you'll add some things like some salt. If you go to restaurants, they will have a little pot of MSG, the monosodium glutamate, but maybe that's not so healthy, so I wouldn't recommend.
So we can
you have
add all
that.
of these spices in here?
Yeah, we could go for it. So here we've got some
Condiments?
shallots.
Yes.
Here we've got some cilantro.
Coriander? Cilantro?
Yeah, maybe like coriander.
Yes, and garlic.
Yeah, and I can tell you when I go to hot pot restaurants in China, I remember in the very beginning, 20 years ago, maybe the condiments were very simple. I mean the condiments just in the bowl here. And it just had some sesame oil, some salt, maybe some shallots, and that was about it. But now if you go to a hot pot restaurant, you have a huge bar, and maybe you have a choice of maybe 20 or even more different condiments you can put in there. And often I find they're so delicious that really you could just eat the condiments and
Yes.
as well as the food you cook
We're
in the
keeping
hot
it
pots.
basic tonight, just the most essentials. 'Cause you don't really want to take away from the main dish, which is the hot pot. And it's bubbling away, so we have all sorts of vegetables and meat, I would imagine, or
Okay, so the way it normally works is that you have a menu. And the menus are very interesting. If you go to a restaurant, I remember particularly many years ago, it's just basically the menu was basically like a clipboard, and you have it's kind of like a bit of an Excel sheet, and you have all of the names of the things in Chinese, and you just tick what you want on it. And when I first arrived, it was so difficult to order because at that time I didn't really know Chinese very well.
yes.
But at the same time, you don't really want to order anything at random because you might get something you don't like. Maybe you get some
Absolutely.
pig brains or something.
That is a challenge I face every day.
Yeah.
So it is useful to go with a local that knows what to order, what is the most delicious thing. And today we're trying what ingredients with this hot pot.
Okay, so we're going to see if we have many dishes already in here. So I was kind of expecting that we'll have some raw dishes out on the table, but actually we don't have.
It's
that
already
much in
cooked
there.
for us, so
Oh, we have got some things in here. So I'm going to show you on camera. So do you know what this is, Julia?
this is the famous cow's stomach,
Yeah, that's right,
Possibly.
the tripe.
the tripe.
It's called tripe. And if you want to order it in China, or in Chongqing, the name for this is called Mao Du. So basically like, hairy belly or hairy stomach.
Let's have a
So
look what else they have here. Oh, I see
we can
some
dig through here.
shallots.
Okay, so we've got some spring onions in here. Okay,
Oh,
so
is this a
maybe
noodle? I guess some noodles here.
I think these are maybe duck intestines.
Oh, duck intestine.
Yeah,
So
so the quintessential dishes in Chongqing, the ones that local people really love are like the tripe, the duck intestines.
yes.
But if that's not really your cup of tea, there are lots of other choices you can have. Have all the kind of mainstay, vegetables and the beef and pork and mutton.
Yes.
So really, when you come to have hot pots, there's something for everybody.
I love that this is a very social dish. You can sit with your family and really enjoy for an hour just picking at the soup. Very nice.
Okay, I can actually hear some music going on. Oh,
Ah, we have entertainment tonight.
so Julia, do you know what this is?
Wow, this is the famous. Is this the Sichuan opera? What do they call it?
The mask changer.
Oh,
Wow, look at that.
I don't know how he did it, but he did.
Yeah, so like in Western countries, if you go to watch a magic show,
Ah,
you don't really know how they do their tricks, and it's
yes.
it's almost like a trade secret. And we have that saying in English, a magician never reveals his tricks.
Yes.
Just kind of the same with Sichuan opera in this respect. Exactly, how he changes that mask so fast is kind of a mystery.
And every time it's a different mask. Very exciting. I love the entertainment value. Yes.
You almost scared me there. You see that coming.
Yeah, it's lots of fun for entire family. When you come to eat, you get a dose of culture and fun and yeah, so many ways of changing the mask. So many tricks. And Senior and Kyla.
Oh wow!
Dad. How is he doing
How
that?
did you do it? Where are these things coming from?
Wow, that is a
Wow, that was
dangerous
amazing.
trick. Effortless, huh?
Oh, this is a touching side.
Wow.
Oh wow! But actually, tonight.
Very talented.
Yeah, he's a good dancer, isn't he? Yeah, they really like those fast moves. And when he did that flame as well, it actually feels so nice and warm because it's kind of getting a bit chilly this night, isn't
We
it?
should get him back.
Yeah, just
it
keep
warm.
bringing those flames. Keep it nice and warm.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
but if you really like those kinds of performances, a suggestion I would give you is if you go to some of the old town areas in the city, like Tsuchiko, like the porcelain town, you can find a lot of performance theatres there, and they kind of do a medley. So not only do you have the face changes, but you also have a lot of variety performances like from the traditional dances.
Yes.
So that's definitely something I would recommend.
Absolutely. This has been really entertaining. This has been so much more than just enjoying authentic meal, This is you can't ask more from it's an experience altogether. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and it's really great to have this like right in the middle of the city. As you were saying as well, a lot of the district centres, very modern, like the big skyscrapers and all that. But there's something I really love about living here, in the city here. Because like in Chongqing, it has this ultra modern side. So you can go down to say Jiefeng Bay, which is the peninsula area of the city, and you have the big skyscrapers.
Yes, and
Yeah, they kind of made the the edifices, the facades, like could have been two big, LED screens.
Yes.
But what's really fascinating, you can walk past some of these skyscrapers, and then you can go into a little traditional neighborhood where people have maybe lived, the way they have maybe since the 1970s or 80s or even earlier. Then you can also find lots of historical buildings, maybe like consulates of European nations, dating from over 100 years ago.
Yeah, exactly how I feel here. It's just a little retreat from the city bustle, and you get, as I said, a dose of culture, authentic meal, entertainment, family fun, everything all in one. So, yeah, let's try some of this bubbling hot pot. Or
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah,
James.
we can
Thank you,
just start
full.
looking
Julia.
some
I
more
am
dishes.
really full.
Yeah, like I said,
I'll
this is
leave you
about
guys.
3 years
I'll
ago,
leave
so
you
we've already had quite a
to
lot to eat tonight.
enjoy
So
the
normally how
food.
it would work, so you order the dishes you like, and they bring them out raw for you, whether it's meat or vegetables, and you can cook them yourself in here. And I suppose a little tip I would always give you as well, if it's kind of like, because the meat slices are cut very thin, and I suppose being from England, we say people from England have very sensitive stomachs. So I used to kind of cook, the meats in there like a really long time, maybe like 5 minutes.
Oh,
But a lot of the local people will tell you not to do it that way because the meats kind of go very tough and chewy. So really, one thing I've managed to change is that maybe if I have some beef or some mutton, I dip it in there for maybe 6 or 7 seconds.
oh,
Yeah, and then if
that
you eat
quick.
it, yeah, it's kind of
That quick.
it's certainly cooked very well, but it's also very
Tender.
soft. Yeah, very
Yes.
tender.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think a lot has changed for me over the years. So I think when I came to China, maybe a lot of the dishes here I wasn't quite used to, but really maybe after a couple of weeks, after a couple of months, I really kind of changed my palate in a way. So nowadays, and after all these years, I actually eat Western food very little.
So you don't miss this was my question, you don't really miss your English food, English cuisine?
Yeah, I think
You
the
cook
best
at
way.
home?
Yeah, I'm not the greatest cook, to be honest, but yeah, I think the best way to put it would be I've been like weaned off, English
Yes.
food quite a lot. So, in the first few years, I was always, kind of had these cravings. Maybe I missed, some of like the cheeses, some of the breads, the desserts, maybe like some classic dishes like shepherd's pie, maybe from fish and chips. But as time kind of went by, I kind of loved this, more and more. So now I very rarely go out for like Western food nowadays, and whether I'm working or at home, I usually just
Yes.
eat Sichuanese food.
But-
Although, of course, it is nice to make a change every now and then.
But seeing all this complicated, really diverse and colorful and rich and these strong flavors, it really looks very complex to me. And maybe because I'm not familiar with it, do you feel that our native cuisine compared to this is very basic and almost primitive? Like, to me, it's almost embarrassing sometimes to think that maybe we have ways to go with our fish and chips and meat and potatoes.
I know exactly what you
Or
mean.
maybe
I
this is
suppose
not
looking
fair
back.
judgment. Maybe this is not being fair to our own cuisine. But yeah, I'm overwhelmed. I'm just overwhelmed with the complexity of all this.
Absolutely. Looking back, I suppose in England, maybe we do like a little bit of variety, but China is such a huge country. Yeah, so many ingredients, so many influences that naturally have a big variety here. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the Chongqing hot pot. So if you come here, this is definitely something you must try, and we've really enjoyed it tonight. And in a few moments, we're going to go back over to London. So Echo, I'm going to pass the floor back over to you.
Thank you, James and Julia. I'm so glad to see you guys enjoy the hot pot. The hot pot is the essential, one of the essential spirit of Chongqing people. iChongqing actually produced live stream shows and video shows about the hot pot festival, hot pot culture, hot pot restaurant, hot pot products every year. And we sure want everyone to know that the spicy hot pot was originated from Chongqing. And we have a rich culture beneath the food. It's not just the food, it's the spirit in our blood. And let's switch back to Dai Hao in London. Before we end our show, she is going to interview some people there about their reaction of the hot pot.
Welcome back to our channel. So we are now doing the live streaming now. So can I just ask you a couple questions? So now we have Mike here. This is wonderful advertising background motion designers because I saw your introduction on Instagram right now. Okay, so please do yourself introduction very short. Yeah.
I'm primarily a motion creative, advertising for 20 years, and now I just do amazing food content, and I work with brands to do design.
Today we already taste a lot of dishes here. Which one do you like the best? Which one do you like the best?
The hot pot is my favorite.
Why?
It's very spicy. It's spicier than normal. So I like the spicy, numbing feeling.
So you can stand the spicy very well?
Yes, yes.
But I saw you drink. You drink a lot.
It helps the drink as well.
Okay, alright, okay. We probably later have the lianggao, right? It's also a Chongqing, very traditional cuisine. It's a snack, and the sweets. Probably you will try it later. Okay. So today we are so glad to invite you here to join us. So what's your feeling right now?
Very warm inside, full of happiness in the tummy. But yeah, very happy. Very happy to be here and part of the experience.
Do you speak Chinese?
No.
Okay, what about Cantonese? A little bit. Okay. So could you please just say one or two sentences to our audience, to our overseas audience, to send a wish in Cantonese? Okay. Okay.
大家好，恭喜發財。新年快樂。
Thank you so much. Okay, 新年快樂 Happy Chinese New Year. Okay,
Happy Chinese New Year.
Have you ever been to China before?
I went to Shanghai this one.
What about Chongqing?
No.
Believe me, if you have any chance, you have to.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Enjoy. Okay, so now is what is happening in London. Back to you, Echo.
Okay, since you are here, Daihao, can you answer some questions from Chongqing? Because we are already entering our third part, the final discussion about your impression about Chongqing food. I have some questions for both of you in Chongqing and in London, for James, for Julia, and for Daihao. We can see that you two are all amazed by the authentic food, and it was absolutely a great treat in Chongqing and London. You know, especially in this beginning of the Chinese New Year's, we can see a lot of our friends are sending greetings in the new year, in the year of the rabbit. We really appreciate that. I wanted to ask you guys, for someone who lives overseas, like Daihao, like James, like Julia, what do you guys think of the influence that the local food has grown on you? I think James has already gave his answer to us. He almost forgot his food, his local food in the UK. He totally loved the food in China, in Chongqing. But how about you, Daihao? How about your impression and your insights about this? Hello? Okay. We are waiting for Daihao to get back to us, but now it may be for the chance for Julia to answer these questions for us. As for Julia and James, can you guys answer this for us? Like it's our end of our discussion.
Okay, so thank you very much, Echo. So I'm going to say ladies first again. So
yes.
Julia, how has life and the cuisine in Chongqing had an influence on you?
Life and the cuisine. Well, I am a newbie here, only 5 months. And I think, like for anyone coming to a country where you don't know the language and completely new environment, it tests your patience. So as a person, I had to be a lot more patient and just take it day by day, and give myself a break and say, okay, I don't understand the language, I don't know what people are saying, I don't know what I'm ordering or buying. I just have to be patient and take my time and not get frustrated. And for some people it's hard to do, but I think this is just, you have to accept it and be easy on yourself and not get frustrated. Everyone's been through this and it will be easier. So yes. And the food, I think be more open and adventurous. So not to, resort to easy fixes like, oh, there's a KFC, I'm saved. No, just go out and slowly, as I said, be more comfortable and expand your comfort zone and try different things. And you might just discover that you have new favorites, like that chicken that I tried today. This is my favorite and something that will I definitely order. And what about you, James?
Well, we've already talked how my palate has changed over the years. So I like Chongqing food so much nowadays that I very rarely eat Western dishes. So if I focus on another aspect of how cuisine has changed me, I suppose it's like the bonding experience. So, like you said, in the Chongqing, in the restaurants, we often have these big round tables.
I love that.
Normally, if whether we're going to work or meeting people outside, I suppose like during the daytime, maybe people could be a little bit shy or something like that. Maybe we don't communicate all so much. But if you meet up all together for hot pot or the Citronese, yeah, then the atmosphere just completely changes, and you really learn. It's a big bonding experience.
I agree.
So I kind of feel that over a wok of hot pot like this, just people like really open up. They can share their feelings, maybe can speak more loudly with each other. And then, of course, you have an opportunity to, maybe drink a little bit more with each other.
Yes.
Maybe the Chinese rice wine.
Yes, you're
some beer.
absolutely right. This is something that I'm not used to, is sharing. We're used to just ordering for yourself, but here everybody shares together, and I feel like this is a communal way of eating, is really bonding. So you get to relax and enjoy the meal together and find out more about each other in a more relaxed atmosphere. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm really pleased you touched on the points that people that share all of the dishes, because like in England, we all have our own like plates and all that, and we don't
Nobody
really
likes
share
to
with other
share.
people. But no, I think like the sharing part of it, really helps people open up a lot with each other.
Well, as they
So,
say, sharing is caring. So
yeah, and exactly. I mean, and people. I remember even before I came to China, people were saying like, if you come here and you want to talk about business or it could be like real business or it could be something personal. Yeah, then really the best time to do it is maybe over like a lunch or a dinner that you can share together.
yes.
And here in Chongqing, I've experienced it so many times. Whether it's a work party, but also special occasions with my wife's family as well. So, my wife is from one of the districts of Chongqing, and we always have these big get-togethers, particularly over the Spring Festival. Also, other big holidays like the Labor Day, the National Day, and also sometimes big birthday dues. So, like in China for men, the number 9 is very important. So, if you're 19 years old, going 29, 39,
Oh wow.
yeah, that's like a really big do. It's almost, you'd invite as many people sometimes as you would like a wedding party or something like that. And then for women, like the number 10 is important. So if you're a lady and you want to have a big do, then the best time would be like your 20th birthday, 30th and 40th, and so on.
90th and so on.
Yeah, exactly. And then also you have other things that you can open up even more. So if you have a bit of rice wine, then you can also play some games as well. So, for example,
I've
like the
noticed that.
Huachuan, like the finger guessing
Lots
game.
of people love to play games when they're out socializing. So this is something so unusual. People in Canada or Europe don't do that. And maybe they don't put so much significance to family dinners and meal times altogether. Here, I feel there's a almost ceremonial kind of thing going on with the meal time. People really pay a lot of attention to it. And I feel we don't do enough of that. We don't share our meals. We don't put so much focus on dinner time and these special occasions. So yeah, very big difference.
And you just reminded me, there's another influence it's had on me here as well. So of course, if you go to a restaurant or a bar in England, everything's so quiet, because everyone just speaks very quietly and they're just kind of like very discreetly, and you don't want to disturb anybody. Even when I remember like the first week I was in Chongqing, I was really kind of like shocked in a way, because you go to hot pot restaurants or somewhere else, and then like later in the evening, you have people like shouting, they're playing the finger guessing game, like Liu, Ba, Midi. So like, yeah, that really took me by surprise. But I suppose though, to begin with, then maybe I felt a little bit shy. I wasn't quite confident enough to do that. But
now you know all the games, huh?
Yeah, so not only know all the games, but I kind of really like to get involved myself, and you can be like very very loud and outgoing. So I think that's like another really good experience that coming to China has had on me personally.
Yes. And I feel like it's also very inclusive. Whenever I go out to dine, I see families with, all generations together coming out to eat. That is so common. And in our countries, it's less and less. People, more going out on date nights. And you don't see the whole entire family with grandparents and, all coming out to eat to a restaurant. So that is very nice to see.
Yeah, you're right. People are very open as well. But I suppose if I was back home, if you go out for something like hot pot, if you go and approach some of the strangers, maybe they're not going to be so keen on talking to you. But it's so different here. So there've been so many occasions where we've had people who are sitting on other tables, and if we see each other having like a good time, and then maybe if there's a good opportunity, maybe we'll can talk a little bit and chat with other people.
So lots of positive things revolving around food. That is for sure.
Yeah, so it's not only a great bonding experience, it's like a great way to socialize and open up with people. Okay, so it's been really good sharing your experiences and impressions of cuisine in Chongqing. Okay, so I think the action is still going on in London. So again, I'm going to pass over to Echo in the studio.
Okay, I'm switching back to Dai Hao in London, where she can answer the question, followed by James and Julia. Hi, Dai Hao, are you ready for this? You guys just mute the button, because so we cannot hear from you. Actually, my question is about the culture, the food culture. How is this local culture that has been grown on you, even when you are overseas living or studying overseas? Hello? You unmute the button. You press the unmute button. Please don't press the unmute button. Okay, it's okay.
Okay, so we all know that a very local food in the UK is fish and chips. Which was very suitable for lunch break when I was a student in the school during my lunch break. As a person living overseas, you will find definitely not be used to the local food at the beginning, but after a long time, you live here, you study here, and you have friends here. You will gradually adapt and fall in love with it. So now I'm very fall in love with in the fish and chips now. So this is the answer about that question. Echo.
Thank you, dear Dai Hao. I'm so glad to hear from that, and I'm so glad to see that people everywhere are enjoying Chongqing food. And this is the end of our show today. Thanks everyone for reporting this activity today in London, in Chongqing. It's called Exploring Yummy Chongqing in London. I'm very grateful to have those guests, content creators, and chefs to come and make this night work for us. But on the other hand, I'm totally jealous of James and Dai Hao and Julia, because gee, just look at how they've been enjoying their food, and it makes us very hungry. It's very beautiful to watch them enjoy the food. And Chongqing is a city with 38 districts and suburbs. The food culture here tells stories of over 32 millions of people. It's a great city with stunning landscapes, UNESCO sites, and a long history for you to explore. Thank you guys for watching this show. I hope you guys enjoy it. I see you next time.